Nang sangma la samdi dashi dili shukuyu.
I'm extending my Dashidli greetings to everyone.
Ni changchu chodo semji bi kulong ki si sin ne, ani ngondo de nyamdo songro nang.
Please follow me in doing this wonder practice with the generations of the bodhicitta.
Guru bema bawo kando chodan jeba dan ko garda songda ge ngaje loya tuje gongba reba ran sharje ngo tala tede tadil je tadan je de zilje dunje namgara jembara Jelama Gandozo Nongi Medalando Jeje Dundada Gamzum Zem Jena Semloma Dengi Ngando Nam Tezene Drubena Waranya Manjojo Njuru Bezem Jena Purare Do Bena Jorne Chinka Jene Vudem Benjim Palama Je Je Jone Lungaye Danyo Mene Bar Dente Sam Gon Bede La Ba Le Java De Jitan La Ju Nere Je Nyam Ge Shen De Ro Tarang Shen De Nyen Ru Ba Yi Lama Gan Zo Nam Ye Me Da Ge Go Zom Je Ye Lo Me Da Ge Go Zom Je Ye Lo Me Da Ge Go Zom Je Ye Lo La So Tene Long Ro Nyam Do Sal Ro Na Shu Bi
Please now follow me in doing the exhalation of the stale breath.
La So Ta De Che La Che Zu Do Me Do Pe Ma Ye Teng Du Guru Mba She Shu Yo Ba Che Ngo Zao Ne Ma Yi Ba Te La So La Tse Che Du Tam Ne La Me Ngo Rup Sa Na Mi Do Che Lap Nang Song Sam Nang Tsa Wen Ju La La Ma Da Rang Rang Ni Yen Me Do Gyur Song Sam Me De Yi Ba Wa Te Ne Do Ma De De Nyam Do Ne Sam La Dang Ro Na Shu Bi
So now please visualize uh, above your crown, the on the lotus throne, Guru Rinpoche is seated, and then he is blessing you from above, and then you yourself are becoming one with the Guru Master, and so now do the follow while doing the following lines. Please visualize these the image of Guru Rinpoche blessing us from above.
Balden Zawe Lama Rinpoche Dage Jeoran Beme De La Jugad Chemben Gone Jezon Kuzon Toye Ngodro Zaldo Zu Tuzum Sanje Dam Jige Ngo Lama Rinpoche Yin Dage Gyu Minjen Jolwara Jinje Labdo Zu Sablam Je Doba Jeba Yula Jewara Jinje Labdo Zu Sedenye La Wazar Zoba Je Lamjo Darje Bara Jinje Labdo Zu Duzum Sanje Dam Jige Ngo Lama Rinpo Jeje Dage Gyu Minjen Jolwara Jinje Labdo Zu Samlam Je Doba Je Bara Jen Gyula Je Ora Jen Je Labdo Sede Nye Lao Zan Zoba Jimbo Lam Jo Dar Jen Je Labdo Duzum Sanje Dam Je Je Ngo Lama Rinpo Jeje Dage Gyu Minjen Jolwara Jen Je Labdo Samlam Je Doba Je Bara Jen Gyula Je Ora Jen Je Sedenye la oza zoba jimbo lamjo darje chenye lamdo zoa dezo lama rimbo je tumbe budu jenjen jeje kalme dala reza gele me tuye irmen je bara jenye lo Yema dagi juje gangne ja daljuro dini shindo nye barang tunne chikson nison chila nye kewa drubi longa maju renjen lingle tonglo onyen du kalde juje pemba madu chinne milu nye barakala chu laso ta tene nga zo ni tambe che su shin do nyam zo lang go yo ba ina ni tambo korwa la nge bar chu wa na ene te je la chang ju ge sam ren ba che en te je la ene ya dong ma ni ji tuen o ten zo ya bo che to go yo ba re te le da korwa la lo do go yo ba ina ene ngon ron le to mong chi ngon ro de nge bar do nyam zo lang go yo re en de le da na ngo ta do ro ji du ba ina ene cho ju kar sa lo do na ba shin na lo do do yo re ene lo do na ba she bo de nga zo da na nyam zo lang shin ba am kwam shin be ga yin za nga zo da ju nye ka wa de no song sen je ta nye ba chi wa mi da ba de no kwam shin ba yin ba re ene de da ka le ma ne shu gi yin
So for proper practice of Buddha Dhamma, the renunciations of samsara and then bodhicitta, as well as the understanding of the emptiness, are indispensable. They are very important. And within those, then the reversing from the samsara or abandoning the samsara. And for that, we, among all practice, then the practice of the common, the preliminary, it's very important. Within this, we are going through the practice of the four mind changing, the 4 points turning the mind towards the Dharma. And then throughout the last sessions, we have talked about the difficulties of reaching freedoms and the obtaining freedoms and the riches, as well as in the death and impermanence. Now we will continue on the subject matter of death and impermanence.
다 미다바 델레 뭐망가서 친누지 직된 라삼네 미다바 콤바데 슈투체 다 낭주지 샘진 라삼네 미다바 콤메데 니다나 슈기
So, uh, in last session, we have talked about the impermanence of the external world, and today we will talk about the impermanence of the internal beings, the content of the world.
다 낭주지 샘진 세데 마랑조 로아르 좀 샘진 상마라니 슈기 바레 로아르 좀 샘진 야게 세비 세모네 송데 마게 냐와 나메기 바르도 아니 케위 타말라 미시겐 누수지아요 마레
So, then these internal beings are referred to all the beings of these six realms, from the top realms to all the way to the bottom realms, the hell realm, which is hell realm, and all of these beings, there's no beings who has never been never been alive forever. All the beings in those realms have at certain point born and then died.
아니 제상 나랑 소소양 단다 깨워 레데 깨네 내지 마레 이난 남지마도 깨네 시고 그래마도 배드마시 대는 민도 엔데네를 조선 삼노다로나
So then our self are also included in those beings, and we since our birth, we are always, on the course of the impermanence, always changing, and then finally we will die. And now, please take a moment and contemplate on this point.
나서 데네 인도다 야게 다시비스 마사나면도 아니 소메 켄지 무시 세컨드조 하장게 새로운 거 말에 이나양 어느 건조기 깨짐매바 내내르베서는 되네 주는 말에 건조양 세편은 로고 유래 디네 세편은 아니 로아섬저 가와르게 유매양 kullela tago gurwa ne dene yindu ene ngazu mi lu dende tarong tagbo na tembo shana mebare ne sela ngeba mebarwa ne ngazu kiwe tama dende la yul ta kaso some kenji mo shan shi go ne ngarang zo da yinda yin san dene la kyu sama da na
Okay, the tip or the top of the six realms, on the top is the beings of formless realms. Those formless realms, compared to other beings, they have long life and they live very long. However, they are not living forever. You know, they at the end also has to take, they have to take other births. They have to die and take other births, and so just like that, all other beings are, compared to those beings, then all other beings we take our, next birth or other births even more frequently. We human beings compared to those, formless beings, then we take, our births, new births, even more frequently. So now please take a moment and contemplate on the point that we humans are our life is very fragile and always perishing. Yeah.
哦，他大概能见到苏甘吉，他三点西， 那囊塞些吧，那苏甘那里最近是个月的， 된소양 되는, 네 대지 본종 쪽에 뭐 나는 내봐 펠저 3den지 나라 내게 바로 3den지 사바를 된데 인도네 강에다 동아되네 지셔라 연구고요 말 얘나야 세 족도 요래 세 족사베잖아 야와 가war랑 거도 미도 양 따주로 와 대 다바데 마가 매바래 된데 인나다 가랑서 미루된디 대여장 매바 따데 매베지 라신지래 아니 상님이 하게 되면 나도 저런 것도 두고 말해 네 되려면 좋지 나 상관없나
So then next is the formless, the after the formless, the beings in the formless realm, then is being in the form realms, and those are beings of beings who are abiding in samadhis, and there are in total 17 classes of those beings. Uh, and those beings generally, enjoy much more pleasures than others. They have less difficulties in life and more pleasures. However, they are also, not uh, kind of living permanently. They also perish and then they die and then take birth at the end, take new birth at the end. And then, compared to these beings, then we human beings, we are much more fragile and we are on the stronger course of the impermanence, the power of the impermanence. Our lives are controlled by impermanence much more than the others beings. We do not know when we will die. We are not certain that we will not die tomorrow, right? So now please take a moment and contemplate on this point.
so da da na shin do de la ne de la ri tu ayong yong ge re da de be kham yin ba la lai ne ba den zo ya en ji den ji de ji pu zum so ba long zo cho ge se ha jang ge reng bo re ane ina da khon zo che de xi go ge re ma do ane ma shin da la ge ne su jia yo ma re na la yong bo jia jing ji jiao lang wa yin na da wa de ma yin be xian da xin kang ge jiao lang na ya ne ge wu ta ma de xi go ya re ma do ba so mo ne gen su ji ya me ba re den de yin de da nga rang zo mi lu den de xie me wa ba re dan da ba do mi jiao lang ne ma xi la ge yu re so na da bo do ko nyo yo ma re to nyo yo ma re tong nyo yo ma re yin ge wu ta ma de sa ma xi go ro wa nga zo yang de le ju sa ma dang ro na
Next is the the god of the desire realm. Those gods uh, are also are in 6 different classes, and they're similar to the other beings of the form and formless realms. They enjoy a great deal of pleasure. They live very long, and however, they are also you know uh, not living permanently. They die at the end. They perish, even though they're king. They're the king of their desire realm. Even though someone born as that figure, they he or she will die at the end. And then we human beings, compared to the desire God, and we are you know uh on the much stronger, the within the much stronger control of the impermanence, and that there's no human beings who has never been uh died, right? Everyone was born at certain point and then die at certain point. We have none of us have ever heard a person who has not died. We have never seen someone has not been has not been dying, right? So there's no such things. So please now take a moment and contemplate on this point.
la so ena da na shin do ne la ma yin den hai pal dang long jo le den ne ba ene tse ya la da nya ba de no mong ba shi da yong ge re ina da ta ma kong zo yan xi go re ma do tu nang ne ba zu ro chen bo yue lam ne som bo de as ne ge yue ma re den zo yang xi zhu ge yue re ane tunne ba shira kaya me ba nyamchung mi dunzo di ane xiegu da khonzo la duna nyamchung rao jirwa ane xiegu ba di xie mi go ba re ten ka nangzo namchi ma do ten ten ane mi da we ondo ro ju re wa ten de kyok sa sama da ro na
Okay, next is the demigods. Demigods also have similar the pleasures and uh, fun as those the gods of the desire realms, and they also live very long. They have many different powers as the powers or the magics. However, those beings, even though they have such powers, they at the end they die. Mm. So then, compared to those beings, we human beings again, uh, you know, within the much stronger control of the impermanence, we do not have any specific power as the demigod, and we die much faster than this demigod. So now, please take a moment and contemplate on this point.
la so daga na shin do tunro la samlo dang na yang ane ten de rang re tunro nga shi ane ta hajang ge tu tong tong je ane ma do na tse dem me ba re tunro nga shi hajang ge tse rang bo kalbe bar do yan de ba ten de yong go yore yana ta ma shi go go yore di yin do ane nga zo me yang na ta shi go go do wa ane je dang me la naga mangbo shi ra yore ling shi mi mangbo yore de ta na nga zo zambu ling be me de tse de la ta ba ten ba kaya yo ma re ane di ring sani shi ro go re dang ane lo ka she je la ge re sa na kaya kuy jin go su tu ma ro wa di yin de me ta ba de ne yin ba di la yang kyo su sam na ta ro na
Again, next is the animals, and the animals various. Some live short life, but some live extremely long life. Mm. But however, all of them die at the end, and we human beings similarly, you know. Even though we have, there are different beings, human beings, different human beings of the uh, four continents. However, the human beings of this continent, the world, we, compared to other beings, we live kind of relatively short life, and we, are born at certain time and then die pretty soon afterwards. So now please take a moment and contemplate on this point.
哦，老师，他大概能进入一大给什么见了什么东西呢？你这不就讲了哇？一大定做， 상관없어.
So next is the Hunger Games being, and same to other beings. Those Hunger Games, they live pretty long life. They according to their system, they live life for around 500 years. Some of them, and in human system, these 500 years of the you know how the Hunger Games would be a very long time, right? However, then we human beings do not live that long. We do not live for 1,000 years or you know, uh, yeah, million years. We live very short, just decades of few decades. You know, we there are many people being born every day, and many people are dying every day, right? And we don't know how long we will live. We don't know whether we are going to live tomorrow or no, right? All of this we don't know, very uncertain. So now please take a moment and contemplate on this point.
나서 아니 다가 나신도 냐외 섬전자 아니 코로나 나서 세령도 나가면도 뭐 요래데 건조한다 기부 담아시고 요래 제가 냐와이다 라서바 아 세통나 약을 신의 약의 약으로 와 그래도 단다 뒤촌의 섬로서 다야 많이 맞아 깨비 중마데 누수마도 수나야 시고 요래 당아서 밀르데 어느 토베 깔래 가고 어느 토바이나 배주 좀 주의 여긴데 는 내버도 시고도 와 내버도 고 매바 차고도 와 근데 하정 그 방부로 와 어데넬 안에 교사만 나오나
Okay, next is the the helpings. And then helpings also have different lifespan. Some live long, some live short. Of course, if they live short, it's better for them, right? Rather than living very long in the hell realm, it's better to live short in there, right? However, you know, uh, all the different types of the helpings they die, right? However long they live, short or long, they at the end they die, and then you know, likewise we human beings, even though the human precious body is very valuable and useful, and but at the end we it has to perish, it will die, so which is very in a way very unfortunate for us, right? So now please take a moment and contemplate on this point.
원다 디미도 바 곰다 지레 네 곰다 셴바 지데 아 담베 깨울라 섬네 미도 바 곰다 세근지 유레 근데 안 갈래 안 가서 또 마시고이
So this is one type of meditating on impermanence. Then there's another way of meditating on impermanence, which is called meditating on the holy beings. So we will explain this now.
다 담베 깨우서 나면데 깨우 담바 곰조베 산제 다 단당 인원랑 아주 산제 셰제도 바 라소바 산제 랍 튜엔데 저 전사와레 그래서 로윤나라 샤요레 다 조베 산제스디 다 견담제 바 윤네담제 세 계지 제고단들로 꾸녀바지로와 이나다 지던 통난 지문의 선노다나 산지든저 남들 삼마도 봐 누구야 매버래 근데 다시 또 봐, 샤제 또 봐야 근데 로니 동원 점지 라 아니 가서라 자주 정도는 고만량을 낸데 아니 고봉된 좀 아니 가서 쇼라 피 아니 최대 차지라 막그 어텐데니 로주 샤요로와 텐데지 산제 남양 아니 고만량을 낸다 저거 유나 아니 가서 레도 녀몽기 왕의 파샤베 셈짐 규마된서도 시고 봐도 시메가 봐야 되고 그래 가서도 뢰시 어디는 교수 섬나로나
Okay, then the holy beings or sublime beings refers to Buddhas. You know, they has been, including Buddha Shakyamuni, there has been many Buddhas in the past, right? And the countless Buddhas, and all of them are free of all the faults, but endowed to all the the good qualities. However, now we have only the life stories of the Buddhas, the past Buddhas. We don't see them anymore, right? They have already passed away, due to the nature of the impermanence. Buddha Shakyamuni himself, passed away in India 2,500 years ago, and then his body was cremated and so forth. Right? There was the other accounts of how he you know uh, you know gone through the nature of the impermanence. So then, if Buddhas, the holy beings, sublime beings, are also under the sway of the impermanence, then we ordinary beings who are subsumed under the, very heavily subsumed under the control of, the karma and the afflictive emotions, then are very likely to perish soon, right? We are on the verge of dying every day. Mm. So now please take a moment and contemplate on this point.
맞소. 이 다나진도 이 좀 된데 이제 로마 이 다좀 받는 망부샤라죠 이 좀 바래. 베나다 뭐걸리 뭐 샤르부 송생도 되네 다좀 뭐 체라체라도 몸도 중화래데 이 단다 된저 남다 상마도 나대 이 말에. 베나 뭐걸리 보도 질 선도나 이 주주 이제 동숨 제된 된저 상마 아니 강버 셈을 지기 때문에 샤네 거라자 두고 요소미래 다 주를 졸랑하냐 바래 자주 말해 나다는 남들 삼아도 봐 아니 거야 매 말해 근데 대인도 가서 미 타말 와든도 아니 계획 타마 시월라 아니 라왕 강지 유래 근데 라왕 잡는 말 와서 어디네 교수 삼아도 봐
So then Buddhist followers, all the four destroyers, including Shariputra, Monge, the Mongeputra, and as well as Mahakashapa, all of them, they have passed away, and now we have only the biographies of them. Um, among those, the Mahakashapa, he was, it's said that he was a very, uh, magically very powerful. He has many magical power, and he can traverse a long distance in within short time and so forth. He can conjure a lot of you know magic and so forth. However, at the end he passed away, just like all other beings, right? So then, if those great beings with the, m- various powers, if they, um, they are not free of, living forever, they have to die, then of course we human beings, you know ordinary beings, we do not have any, freedoms of choosing to live forever. We have to die when the time comes. So please now take a moment and contemplate on this point.
다 나신도 다 리즌 좀더 뭐뭐 shara chomba jar pabu yuldo chubjen keju la so ba chubjen samni me ja ba chomba re en denzo ya da namdar samma do ba ne ko ya me ba ro pena kombo lu ru ro jila cha somba ena ena chaba me sha se to chodang to mongo do ma le ba ne to en keji la rawang do jur ba re da de ne tanda konge namdar samma do ba nga zo ne jaya ga me do wa ene tal le da nyomong ge on shuru rawang ka me ba ngarang su ne ni shi ko ba dan ka du shi ko yu me ha me go ro wa ne ten de yin du ne shi ye se ge ne ba ten me ba yin zang ni le chu sam da lo nang
Then next is this the wisdom holders, the Vijayadaras, and that there has been many Vijayadara wisdom holders in the past. In India there had been 80 great Mahasiddhas or wisdom holders, and all of them were truly accomplished, siddhas. And for instance, the Nagarjuna, he was one of the most renowned Mahasiddha, and he accomplished all the great practices, and he made the Vijaya, mm, the bodhisattvas of long life. However, at the end, he also left the world. You know, now we have only his biography. We don't see him anymore, right? So then, if those great Mahasiddhas also, do not have the freedom to live forever, then we human beings, they're simple, ordinary human beings, and then we are out of questions that we can live forever, right? We are, on the verge of dying, and then the death is very uncertain for us. So now please take a moment and contemplate on this point.
나서 다 당신도 배 강제 정서 양 자반 양아 라서 봐 주주신의 전부 예지 너 저도 라마 하장의 망보 좀 레드다 된도 망쳐더니 남дар 삼바도 봐 나나 고야요 말와 배나 제주 밀라레 봐 너지라 삼바도나 매 다나 매 미스 춘나로 유나더니 주미저 된대지는 누르랑가 녀바 인수무이래 나 다나 남дар 마도 봐 고야가요 말해 ene ngarang zo de ne chodon to mong ngi ngo jo kaya ma to be mi tamal wa de ne da she je jin je la rang kono yo marwa shi nge jan re de yure wa de ne la ne jo sa ma da na
Okay, now if we think about the beings, of the great beings of the Tibet, in Tibet there had been also many great accomplished beings, such as the 25 followers of the Guru Rinpoche, as well as many other beings, countless great beings that had been in Tibet. And among them, if we take an example, the Milarepa, and the greatest yogi, he is said to have this, magical powers, so that even though he was put into the, rivers, he will not be carried away by the rivers. Even though he was put into the fire, he was not, burned, so forth. So, however, even though he had such power, he at the end he left the world too. He passed away. So then, you know, if those great beings, had, passed away, all of them, had passed away, then we human beings, of course, there's no questions. We are very, powerless of, choosing to live long, right? We don't have any power or freedoms to live, for a long time, right? So our death is very, uncertain for us. It will come at any time for us. So please now take a moment and contemplate on this point.
ngo la so ne de sam jo che ne pe je de ten je sam ne ma so ro na
Okay, we will stop here. Now, please follow me in doing the rest of the text.
je ya ro ba je be jel gro te je zang a je be ga wa tu som za be ge zo gun dong la me jang jo ming bo ro ngo wa ran ji so nam de ye da ye ro wa che na zang ye bar je gun shi rim ye lam ye zhe ba dar je ne pe ma jang ngo ba nyu ro do jo zang ge la me je la me la ye dam gan ro le da je je che gyo zo me bar je gon za cho de ngo zum zhe be zha je jo Om Om Bhadra Guru Bema Sede Om Niji De Le Jembu Ye Jene Oza Nyo Men Ga Ye Dami Song Ju Wa Me Ju Dar Ngon Na Ma Shin Ju Be Shin Ju Be Ma We Chunyi ngon som cha se de le lo nyam long kong bel shal men gang jen bu men ba ze men ba wo zhang ge che se lo de do je lo ga ran ju de wu ne men kong bo da ye nyen jen de re cha na me mo na Kusum gun dun chen me du chen zang. Kang du zhu be chen chu ye la zu. Chen tang gu ye nam ru da le be ju zhu cha. Chen ben dun zang. Da xian ka nyam ye jen ya zong. Seden pe ma dao do ye wa ra shu. De ya re zen nam je zen lam la de ne gu ye je ya zu. Sun je la men go ba nyu ru do ne. Ran shen de ne lu nye ru ba ra shu. De me she da ir me be man jo ra na ta be zon do do re na re yer me ma ju nyu me ma de ne nam da chen do je wa ra shu gang do je me je wa dam je do re yuen den dun den do ba ra ye ma da do je dan je ju ne zo xian zhu bi ra wa ye ba ra shu chu do ne ne nian bu dun zhu ce de re se be jia zo ga lo ra se ba dan be che ram dun je je xin ben zhu la jun ga lan be ba ra lab jin xin dun zhu re me ba tam je cham je san je do ba ra shu mo la so ni du che ne dun da che ma ne che na ba te wa ra yo na ne nga zo ne yi ge dong ne dang xiang lo na ne nga zo len jie ji chue de ji yi
Okay, if you guys have any questions, then please send to us through mails or text, and I will try to find a time to answer the questions in the coming weeks.
ne sa ma du ji che ne go zo do ja na ne chi ma ja yong
Thank you, everyone. Take care. See you next week.